Paddington 2 is directed by Paul King and stars Ben Whishaw, Hugh Bonneville, Sally Hawkins, Hugh Grant and Brendan Gleeson. It was a sequel to the 2014 Paddington film that was really surprisingly good. Looking at the trailer for this one, I really didn't expect much at all. I thought it looked too sequel-y, if that makes sense. Like they were trying to go big or go home, and it just didn't look, just looked a bit generic to me. But with that in mind, I went into Paddington 2 not expecting a whole lot, and a sequel that doesn't live up to the first, which, it doesn't, but that doesn't mean it's bad. Paddington 2, it's a good sequel. I didn't think it was as good as the original. I still have fun watching it, though. It's a good film to take kids to, and, it won't set adults' teeth on edge. So this time, Paddington wants to buy his Aunt Lucy a birthday present, and casts his eye on a pop-up book of London, which he thinks will be a perfect present, because Aunt Lucy never visited London, but she wants to. But as he's saving up to buy the book, he gets jobs, he gets fired, and gets another job, But as he's saving up to buy the book, it gets stolen, leaving him as the prime suspect, and he gets stuck in the slammer. So, the film, it has the same sort of tone and styles in the first film. It's a really colourful film. It looks great, and yeah, it's a joy to look at, and including Paddington, who he is a CGI creation, obviously, but I didn't really acknowledge that until after the film. But he's really well integrated into the world they made for this film, probably because it's a really colourful film anyway. And Ben Whishaw, I couldn't imagine anyone else playing Paddington now, because it's hard to explain, but it sounds sort of naive, but also strangely wise in some way that I can't really explain properly. But look, you'll know it if you know what I mean if you've seen the first film. Hugh Grant I'm not usually a big fan of his, but my God, he's great in this. He's really over the top and really entertaining. And the returning characters, they still put in good performances. A lot of them are pretty inconsequential and pointless. And here's the part where I stop being nice, because unfortunately, I didn't find this film nearly as funny as the first one, and I don't really know why, which is the weird bit. It has the same kind of tone. The director and writer are still the same person from the first film, Paul King, who, I must stress, he does a really good job directing it, but maybe not as good of a job writing it. I don't know, because it's so weird to critique, because I really can't tell whether it was down to the script just genuinely being worse, or that it just didn't cater to my sense of humour, which, to be fair, I don't really know what my sense of humour is. I just find things funny, or I don't find things funny. I know that comedy is really hard to get right. Hell, you should all know that from listening to the shit I churn out. And consequently, it can be really hard to say why you did or didn't find something funny, which is, I'm not saying the film's completely absent of some good laughs here and there, but it was nowhere near as good as the first film. I don't know why. And I also have to mention, I couldn't help but find myself questioning the logic of this world, because it's set in, I guess, modern-ish times, and it's billed as being set in the real world London mostly, except there's a talking bear running around, which is fine. But when everyone was introduced to Paddington in the first film, everyone was well, quite rightly, you're shocked to see a talking bear walking around in a duffel coat who loves marmalade. But not this time. Hugh Grant just doesn't bat an eye when Paddington just walks on stage and humiliates in front of the whole neighbourhood. One of the funnier bits of the film. Nor do any of the prison, which I mean, okay, you could say that's fine because he's like the Browns' neighbour, all right. But what about the prisoners in the prison then? None of them give it a second thought when a talking fucking bear is thrown in the slammer with them. And I mean, if you want to have people be totally okay with the talking bear walking around, that's fine, but you have to remember the rules you yourself set out. So in the end, really that's just a nitpick I'm making a huge deal about, I suppose, but in the end, Paddington 2 was a fun time. I don't think it's as good as the first one, even though I can't really tell why. So, I mean, check it out, you might enjoy it more than I did. I'm going to give Paddington 2 a 7 out of 10. I seem to have been giving out a lot of those lately. So guys, have you seen Paddington 2? What did you think about it? Or, who's your favourite talking bear? Whatever it is, let me know. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.